It's time for a good old-fashioned watch ramble. Welcome to the Bruce Williams channel. And guys, you can call me a watch snob, you can call me a tool, you can call me a fool, you can call me ugly. It's all good here, I won't get offended. But I'd like to share with you some thoughts that I had as I was photographing this Tudor Black Bay GMT for a friend of mine. I've spent some time with this watch, actually, over the years. I've borrowed this for review, for comparison. I've worn this on leather. I've worn it on the ETA version of the bracelet, which is compatible. If you don't like the rivet style, you can get the ETA style. I've worn this on mesh. I've spent some time with this watch. And my friend Mike, who this belongs to, he's wanting to sell it. So I'm helping him do that. I'm photographing it. I'll be listing it soon. But as I spent some time with this, I had some thoughts. And so let's do a little bit of a ramble here. Let's talk about the Tudor Black Bay GMT. And more importantly, let's talk about the idea of an alternative watch or a more available and obtainable watch than what we originally had in mind. Say a GMT Master 2. I get this question fairly regularly like, hey, Bruce, I love the Pepsi. I would love to get one. It's just not in the cards. Could I be happy with the Black Bay GMT? Or what alternative do you have that you could suggest for me? And I always struggle with these types of questions and comments because from my experience, I've never found lasting contentment with a more affordable or a more obtainable alternative to a watch that I really want, that I connect with emotionally, right? The logical part of my brain is saying, hey, get the more affordable piece, get the more obtainable piece, live with it, deal with it. Don't be a crazy watch enthusiast, right? Be a normal person, right? Be a normal person, Bruce. But that emotional side of me, the collector, the watch enthusiast, the watch lover goes, no, man, I really want that thin, beautiful Pepsi GMT Master 2, which I will be reviewing one here within the coming, hopefully, month or so. Anyway, side note about that. But no, I want the watch I really want. And so, guys, I want to ask you a question. Can you be happy with a more affordable alternative? Does that happiness last, or is it temporary? After a couple years, are you going to be like my friend Mike who goes, hey, Bruce, I'm ready to move on. Can you help me sell this watch? I'm not bonding with it. I'm not wearing it. Does that happen? And has that happened to you? Now, I want to make clear a distinction. I'm not trying to crap on affordable watches by any means. Most of the time I've been a watch collector, it's been spent in the affordable side of things. And I think most of us in this hobby, we enjoy more affordable watches. And so I'm saying you can enjoy affordable watches. Yes, I've been there. There have been so many watches I've loved and had great experiences with, and they stand on their own 2 feet or its own merits, if that makes sense. What I'm saying is not about price. It's about the idea of a substitute or an alternative. However value rich it may be, however awesome it may be, can it ever really take the place of that watch that you love, that you bond with, that you connect with, that brought you in, so to speak? Because I don't think it is. Now, I will say, I don't have keeper watches. I don't have a collection of watches. I collect experiences with watches. And I've made a ton of mistakes over the years of being a watch enthusiast. And I know some of you guys know all about that and have followed me for years. And shout out to you if you're still here, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. But no, I wouldn't trade my mistakes or my experiences because it's brought me to where I'm at today. And I'm the type of collector of watch experiences that I am because of my experiences, if that makes sense. No, before I wax poetic, let's actually talk about this watch in question. I took the opportunity to get new macro video and new wrist shots and everything. And so let me drop in a few of those things and talk about this watch because it has some really great things to it. It's a true GMT movement, and that is a rare thing these days. Most GMTs, so to speak, are actually dual times. They're 2893 based calibers. For me, they're ETA or Solita, and they don't have an independently adjustable hour hand that can go in both directions without hacking the balance. It's not a true GMT movement. It's a dual time, and it's a thin caliber. It's respected. It's easily serviceable. But in my experience, guys, again, this is coming down to experience, and you can totally disagree with me. You can totally call me a tool, fool, watch snob if you want to. I won't be offended. But in my experience, once you try a true GMT movement, you'll never go back. You'll never go back. It's so handy, to if you travel frequently, to adjust the time, or daylight savings we just had here in the past week where I am. Very easy. If you're at the end of an irregular duration month, it takes a number of seconds to make that date change. You don't actually need a quick set date, in my opinion. This is such a handy complication. So this has it. And then we have the lovely gritty texture, the matte color of the dial. We have the proportional date placement at the 3 o'clock position. The snowflake hands, I know, are controversial. I love them. I can't get enough of them. I think they're legible, blocky, chunky, cool, and individualistic. Definitely, you're not going to be mistaking this for something else. I mean, this is Tudor history right there. And I love the fact that looking at this bezel, sometimes it's a Coke and sometimes it's a Pepsi. This is sharp. The circular brushing on the lugs, the high polished bevel on the case. I like the box crystal. I like the fact that you can get this watch. You can get all the details. You can get the Rolex-ish homage, right? I think it's okay because they're basically the same brand, sister brands, or charitable trusts, excuse me. You can get this for $3,500 used on a bracelet. You can get it for around $3,000 on a leather strap. I think the value is there, more so than Grand Seiko. And obviously, if you're buying a Rolex, it's going to be, if you can get it at retail, it's going to be about $10,000, depending on local taxes and whatnot. So I see the value. I see the appeal. I think this is really sharp, but it has one fatal flaw, and that's the height. This thing is thick. This is a thick watch. And I've been guilty of this, where I buy a Grand Seiko and I try to explain away or self-justify the little things I have to live with. The thickness. I say, oh yeah, once you have it on wrist, you don't notice it. It's not a big deal. And I'm more trying to massage myself rather than convince anybody else that it's not a big deal. Deep down inside, when you spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a watch, you don't want to have to live with anything. You don't want to have to self-justify. You don't have to, make do with something that might bother you, as silly as it is, right? To a non-watch enthusiast, what we talk about, what we fret over, they think we need help. The Tissot video I did, I had so many people say, oh man, that watch is crap. The movement doesn't hit the marks. This is offensive. I had somebody say that it was disrespectful. I'm like, dude, what kind of hobby am I in right now? Anyways, I can criticize because I've been there and I'm guilty. I've had those experiences. Guys, I'm waxing poetic. Let me get back on track here. This watch is great, but it has that fatal flaw of being thick. And I think sometimes we as watch enthusiasts, we can try to self-justify some of those negative elements. And so I think with this Tudor, if you want a GMT Master 2, well, I don't think there's any substitute. I think you should go for the GMT Master 2. Whether you can get one is another story, at retail. Whether you can afford one on the secondary market, that's another topic in itself. I'm not even going to touch that. But I think you should always go for what you really want. And if it's really not in the cards, don't go for a substitute. Go for something that is in the cards. Maybe it's a different style. Maybe it's a chronograph. Maybe it's a dress watch. Maybe it's not just another watch that you love. And you might be at that point in the hobby, in your experience as a watch collector where nothing's jumping out at you. I think we've all been there at some point, but eventually something will grab your eye. So be patient, or try to be patient until something really speaks to you, because we try to be logical, right? We try to be so logical. Hey, go with the more affordable alternative. Don't be a crazy person, be a normal person. But really, watch collecting is about the emotion, right? It's about looking at your wrist, and it's not necessarily about telling the time. It's about the experience. It's about the wow factor. It's about how it makes you feel. Earlier tonight, I went on a daddy-daughter date with my oldest, who's 7. We went to see Raya in The Last Dragon. We had a great time. We snuck some food into the movie theater. And of course, for the occasion, I had to wear my nicest watch, because the best part about my life is being a husband and being a father. I love it. So I wore my watch on my daughter date, and I'm still wearing it. I've still got a smile on my face. I've got the experience. I've got the memory. Anytime I look back at the pictures we took, I'll notice I was wearing this watch. And so watches, again, less logical, more emotional, more about the connection. And I really don't think that you can be lastingly, is that even a word? You can be satisfied in a long duration of time with a more affordable alternative to a watch you really want. However awesome and however much value that watch may have, I don't think we can really live with substitutes. But what do you guys think? Am I crazy? Am I off base here? Do you relate to me? Am I hitting home? You know, what do you think about what I've talked about today? And guys, do you ever plan your watches according to your experiences? Like if you're making a big business deal, you're going on vacation, going out with a significant other, whatever it is, do you plan your watches accordingly? Your watch selection accordingly is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm interested to hear, am I the only one? Am I the only crazy person in this hobby? I don't think I am, but guys, thanks for watching today. Feel free to disagree with me. That's totally fine. I'm not going to take offense. So let me know if you have questions. Thank you again for watching. Reach out in the comments or send me a private email if you wish. If you have a topic suggestion or something you want to go over with me, you're welcome to do that. And I'll see you real soon. Affordable watches out there. And my daughter has just come. Hey, Lexi, I'm doing a video right now. What's up? You just coming to hang out? All right. You want to tell everyone what you think about watches? No. All right. So why don't do you want to go play on the iPad or something in the closet or upstairs? Okay. All right. Not too loud because I'm recording. All right. I love you.